In this lesson, I will show you how you can insert dimensions in drawings. As you can see in the open document, I have already placed 3 orthographic views of a part as well as an isometric view. In addition, I have created a full section and a broken out section. Apart from those views, I have also created a few detail views so I can place dimensions. To place dimensions in drawings, I have to activate the Smart Dimension tool, which can be found in the Annotation ribbon. With this tool, the location where I place a dimension affects the type of dimension that is added. So at this point, I will insert a linear dimension. I will hover the cursor over the right edge of the front view, and when the edge is highlighted, I will click. Once I do, a dimension appears and I can place it if I click again. As you can see, Solidworks understands that this dimension corresponds to a cylindrical cross-section and automatically inserts the diameter symbol. The Smart Dimension tool does not deactivate automatically, so I can continue placing dimensions. Next, I will place the dimension of the pipe's inner diameter. To do that, I will click once the yellow dot appears where the top horizontal dotted line intersects with the vertical continuous line. Then I will also click on the bottom point where the bottom horizontal dotted line intersects with the vertical continuous line. Now all I have to do is click one more time to place a dimension. Once again, Solidworks understands that this dimension corresponds to a cylindrical cross-section, and as a result, the diameter's symbol appears automatically. On the contrary, if I click on the line of the pipe's vertical section and move the cursor to the right, the length is displayed without the diameter symbol. I will click to place this dimension too, and I will also add another dimension by clicking on both ends of the flange. Now, every time I place a dimension, I can move it so it is clearly visible in the drawing. To move a dimension, all you have to do is select the desired dimension and drag it to its new position. Now I will place a dimension which will show the distance between the centers of the flanges. However, no matter how much I move the cursor over the edges, the desired point does not appear. In this case, I can either place this dimension on some other view, or create center lines that will help me find the points I want. In this example, I will create center lines, so I will press Escape to deactivate the Smart Dimensions tool, and I will activate the Center Line tool, which can be found in the Annotation tab. Then I will click on the 2 opposite vertical edges and notice that a center line appeared automatically. At this point, I will repeat the same process to create all the center lines that I need. Once I finish creating center lines, I will expand the Smart Dimension button and I will select the Chain Dimension option. I will click on the first center line, then on the second one, then on the third one, and finally on the fourth one. Now I will press Escape to deactivate the Chain Dimension tool. Notice that the dimensions were placed automatically. However, I just realized that I have omitted a dimension. Now I can easily add it if I select the last dimension of the chain, right-click on it and select the Add to Chain option. Now all I have to do is click on the right edge of the object and it is added automatically. At this point, I will zoom in on the top view of the object. I will activate the Smart Dimension tool again, and I will click on its left outer edge. When I click, the radius of the arc is automatically displayed. I will click again to place the radial dimension. Next, I will click on the dotted circle and click again to place the dimension. Notice that in this case, Solidworks displays the diameter. If I wanted the radius to be displayed, then I would have to right-click on the dimension and select the Display as Radius option. I can also convert a radial dimension to a linear dimension if I right-click on it and select the Display as Linear option. Now I will reset it to show the diameter. I will also move the dimension to make it clearly visible. Apart from continuous dimensions, we can also create baseline dimensions. To do that, I will expand the Smart Dimension button options, and from there I will activate the Baseline Dimension tool. Now I will click on the first circle, then on the second one, then on the third one, and finally on the fourth one. Notice that every time I click on a circle, a dimension is added which shows the total distance from the first circle. Similarly to the chain dimension, I can add dimensions if I select the baseline dimension, right-click on it, and select the Add Dimension option. With the Add Dimension option active, I will also select the right edge of the object and the dimension is automatically added. At this point, I should mention that I can place center marks automatically to circles or arcs. Usually, center marks are placed automatically in Solidworks drawings. However, we may accidentally delete a center mark and wish to restore it. So I will delete a center mark from the top view, and then I will activate the center mark tool, which can be found in the Annotation tab, to restore this center mark. Now all I have to do is click on the circle and notice that the center mark was placed automatically. I will press Escape to deactivate the tool and move on to show you how you can add angular dimensions. I will activate the Smart Dimensions tool again, and I will click on the slanted side of the flange. Now if I move the cursor diagonally, the line's length appears. However, if I click on the opposite slanted side of the flange and move the cursor downwards, then an angular dimension appears. Before we finish the lesson, I should also mention that there is a very useful tool which is used to describe holes and is called Hole Callout. Once I activate it, I will click on the hole which can be seen in the detail A. Once I clicked, a note appeared explaining the shape of the hole. More specifically, the note indicates that the hole whose diameter is 15 mm is perforated, while the hole whose diameter is 21 mm is 5 mm deep. Naturally, we can understand this from either the section AA or from the detail B, in which it is clearly visible.